Stephen Webb.
Okay. And what are you?
I am the community rep for King College
Or
Prep.
who are you? So let's begin. What role do you play in your community?
What role do I play in my community? I play a watchful member of my community. I make sure, my friends and I, we have like a community watch actually, just to make sure that the neighborhood is safe.
It's really cool. So how have you been impacted by your community?
Have I been impacted? I think I've been impacted. We got to look through something. Been impacted through the positivity that I see around me, the success of the adults and their children, and just the kindness of my community. People helping each other, neighbors who look out for each other.
If you could change anything about your community, what would it be?
What would it be? I don't know what I could really change. I like my neighborhood. Probably style of houses.
Okay.
Style of houses. I like more of a modern, contemporary look. Glass, steel, and concrete, to be exact.
Oh, okay. So, how do you think about your community? How do you think your community is viewed by others?
It's viewed as a good community. People like to come into our neighborhood and rob and steal and do those type of things because people are hard workers. So they like nice things, and when you have nice things, it attracts people who don't have.
Okay. So, do you happen to think that this view is wrong or unfair in any way?
No, because everybody doesn't have, and I just don't like it because they come into our neighborhood to get our hard-working goods and services.
Okay. All cities have to deal with issues like violence. How does the issue of violence in Chicago compare to others in major cities?
Say that one more time.
So how does the issue of violence in Chicago compared to other cities? Issue.
Every city has its own level of violence. It just seems like Chicago has a little bit more. It's publicized more. And I think what keeps our violence going on is the gangbanging that goes on. Every city doesn't have traditional 60, 70-year-old gangs in their communities like Chicago does.
Okay. So, what are the top 3 issues/concerns that you would like to address within the communities?
Within my community?
Sure, it doesn't have to be just within your community, but in Chicago.
Oh, well, of course, the first thing is the violence.
Yes. Of course.
Low unemployment.
Yeah.
I would like people to get more jobs so they can stay busy and fend for themselves. And I have violence, low employment, and priorities and food deserts. Food deserts. I would like to see more healthier foods within our communities, especially the African American communities, because we eat a lot of things that aren't healthy for us, the greasy foods, the fast foods, the high level of salt. So we have more education and knowledge of the benefits of fruits and vegetables.
Oh, okay, nice one. So, if you were in charge of the media, what would you show, and what would you do to change the interpretation of how people see you and your community?
I think I would cut down on a lot of the negativity that is seen and heard within the community, because it's more positive that comes out of a community than the negative. We have more good people than bad people that live in our city and within our urban community. So I would most definitely change that.
That's nice, So how would you change Chicago in the future?
Chicago in the future?
What do you see?
I see, I would like this city to be more diverse.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of it being so segregated, being known as the most segregated city in the country. I like to see it more diverse, everyone living together more, so South Side, North Side, West Side, more diverse people, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, all of us living under one roof in harmony.
Okay. So, If you were in my position, what questions would you ask about your community or communities in Chicago in general?
To ask you,
Yeah.
how do you see how do you feel about what the youth are doing for their communities? Do you think the youth could impact their communities in a more positive state?
Okay. Any other questions?
What do you think? What's your solution to stop the gang violence
Ooh.
from a young perspective? What could make a change for the better?
Nice questions. Okay. Well, thank you very much for your time.